This is a big gamble. Is this system going to work? Time will tell. We will see. My question is simple. Why does Washington refuse to listen to us, the people of America? Washington told us it was going to cost $970 billion. But just not long ago, the Congressional Budget Office has found out that the cost will be $1.7 trillion. We are broke. We are broke. We are mortgaging our children's future. That's why I have Erica here with me today. Washington is borrowing 40 cents of every dollar we spend. And our debt is now larger than our GDP, $15 trillion. And no end in sight. They said premiums would go down. They have not. They said it would create jobs. It didn't. They said we can't keep our own plan and we can keep our own doctors. You can't. Did Congress read the bill? I doubt it. And because they can't stand by their promises, the House, the people in Washington, have even started to offer waivers. Waivers to nearly 2,000 people, to a few selected, that they want to give waivers to. And finally, I want to close with the IPAB. A lot of people in my district don't know what IPAB means, because I've talked about it and people come and ask me, what does it mean? Let me share with you what it means. IPAB stands for Independent Payment Advisory Board. That's what IPAB means. Not an iPad, IPAB. Washington put the IPAB board in place for one reason. So they wouldn't be responsible for the complaints that the people of my district will have when they don't get the care that they need. The board has 15 people, accountable to no one. Unelected 15 people, unaccountable to the people, unaccountable to the Congress, and unaccountable to the President. So why this board? Let's just be very, very sincere. Why this board? So when we complain, so when the people complain, so when the people suffer, the politicians can just go run and hide. They can go run and hide and take no responsibility and just say, I didn't do it, the IPAB board did it. That's why it's in place. I'm here to say to you that I will vote to repeal the IPAB board. Let me tell you what we need in Washington. We need a bipartisan, positive agreement on health care. A common sense health care reform. We need to reduce the cost of health care. We need to increase competition, and we need to increase access to all. That's what I believe the people of America, and that's what the people in this 24th Congressional District are looking for. Bottom line, Congress needs to start over. Start over in a bipartisan way. And next to say a few words is a good doctor from San Luis Obispo County, a pediatrician here from San Luis Obispo, Dr. Bravo.
Thank you, Abel. And I just want to take a few moments to talk a little bit about this, because on this very somber anniversary for me personally, the Affordable Care Act by the President has in the past 2 years really failed to deliver on the promises of health care reform that many of us in the profession have been hoping for. There's no question that health care reform and our system needed to have some changes, but the draconian measures that the President proposed on such a partisan basis really have done little, if anything, to really enhance the delivery of health care in this country over the past 2 years. And personally, I am very fearful for the future if we do not stop or change or alter the course of this act, which I think is so flawed in many ways. Physicians throughout the country have risen up to talk about the intrusion of government in health care. That's our biggest fear. In the past 2 years, we've not seen we've seen the expansion of digital systems into offices and hospitals, which have caused a problem with privacy. We haven't seen a decline in costs of healthcare because patients are confused now in terms of how they can go, and the promises of a new financing system are particularly difficult right now. I think that Abel, Lieutenant Governor, as I call him, so proud to say that I support him, has the ability to work in a bipartisan manner, because healthcare reform is not a partisan issue. It should never have been that. And the president made it that, sadly. And I think that when we send Abel to Congress, we can work again on that, and I think we really do need to start over on that. Thank you for this chance just to say that. I know that I represent the voices of thousands of physicians throughout this country, this city, and this state. Thank you so much.
We'll take a question or two if you have one. If not, we'll speak individually.
Abel, if I could follow up, the point you made a second ago was that we need a system that has as the point reducing the cost, increasing competition, and access to all. How would you achieve those important goals?
The first thing we need to do is come together as a Congress, as the doctor has said. This is not a partisan issue. Healthcare is not partisan. We need to bring the good ideas of both parties at one table and say, we know we need to reform healthcare in America. How can we get there? Not just force it down and put a board that in essence will tell our people what you get and what you don't get. We need doctors making decisions. We need more access. We need to lower the cost. Those are the things that need to be on the table as we move forward, and do it in a bipartisan way.
If I can I add it in a little bit here? The financing reform is really a part of healthcare reform which was not adequately addressed in the president's plan, and he failed to really look at the way that insurance companies purchase and how insurance is purchased by individuals. The second part, tort reform. I mean, our healthcare system is very expensive because of all the lawsuits and lawyers in there. I mean, and the ACA did nothing for the issue of tort reform. I think purchasing cooperatives, trying to look at that was a way to try to decrease the cost. I mean, this was both a Republican and a Democrat proposal that was thrown in a wrong direction also. So, I mean, I would say, and one thing about Abel, he knows how to run businesses, and frankly, it became too partisan and too political, and not really policy enough, and not really experiential enough.
Thank you.
Hey, Erica.
E-R-I-K. Yeah, Erica. Very nice to meet you. I'm 22.
You're major.
Not only did second point with the first, it doesn't work. Number one, it is the cost.
Sure. Got your number on that card.
We have a situation where
Perfect. Thank you.
costs are extraordinary. We have an iPad board
22, yeah.
no one. I think the board was put in place in order for politicians. When somebody would complain about health care, they could go and say, well, it's not us, it's the board. So there's a lot of things that need to be fixed. I'm saying, let's start over. Let's move in a bipartisan way and find a way how we can increase the access, lower the cost, and make it more competitive. You start by bringing the House of Representatives, the members of Congress, with the president, sitting in the room and saying, this isn't Republican or Democrat. This is an important issue for the American people. They want people to make tough decisions and get the job done. And unfortunately what happened, they just pushed it through and they said, you know what, we'll do the bill later. Congresswoman Capps even went on to say, you know, it's a big gamble. Well, we can't gamble with the future of our healthcare system.
Thank you. Thanks.